So this is going to be a little peek into my research process, just on, a daily or every other day kind of process, where I'll just go in and I'll look at, all my different news sources for just general digital marketing updates, so I kind of see what's going down the pipeline. And one of those, if you guys have not heard of it, which I would highly, highly recommend, is Search Engine Land. They've been around forever, and I've used them since my early days of just trying to get news and information about Google. And so I really, really like them for, like I said, staying up to date with stuff. But anyways, the whole point of this video is there's a lot changing with Google Shopping. And so think of it as, the days of Google Shopping where you're showing up number one, first position. That's the most important because people see you first, and then they go and make decisions based off of your ad. At least, psychologically, they see your ad first and then compare all the other products towards the first ad they saw. And Google's going to be doing that for you now, which is super strange. And I think that it's going to be really interesting on how that's going to change just Google Shopping and the marketing landscape, because it's sort of where everything is going, right? It's going into more personalized, more specific. So we'll jump right into that. So I'll start reading, giving you guys a little bit of a summary on it. So Google unveils AI-powered Google Shopping overhaul. The new AI-powered Google Shopping update comes with features like dynamic filters, virtual try-ons, which we'll talk about in a second, and personalized home feeds and deals. So think about it like this, right? You're a small brand, you have a great product, it's amazing, and you want to get it out there, but there's all these large brands that are just taking up that first position space, right? And you run a sale, you try to get up to the first position, but you just can't enter because the market's closed. Well, with the AI filters and, the direction this is going, it's going to prioritize the user and their experience versus just who's bidding the most, right? So it's going to reward brands that are focused on features, understanding their overall content, meaning that you got really good pictures to then have people, virtually try on with augmented reality, which I think is flipping crazy. I don't think it solves the issue entirely, because, what people will do is they'll just order products and then return them the next day if they don't like them online. It's just a hassle, so it just eliminates some of the hassle, which I think is great. But I don't know how this is going to be, affecting the overall buying process inside of Google still. I think that people might go to Google to virtually try it on and then see how that product, is on them, like, somewhat. And then they'll go over to Amazon and then buy the product. And who knows, Amazon will probably come up with something similar off of, Google's iterations here. And so we might, not really be a huge factor into determining decisions on people's, buying cycles, I guess, per se. But the other part about this is that I think is more important is just that competition that I was talking about previously. Where it's all based on, like, who has the best deal going on right now, who has the best 5 stars, most reviews, best features, like I said. And so it's more about the brand now than it is about just your placements, which I think opens up a whole new opportunity, like I said earlier, for, smaller businesses to kind of enter into the market, especially if they have a product that works. I feel like that's just, one of the biggest things ever. So drop shippers, I'd be a little nervous. Actually, I'd be really nervous, just because, if you're not in a very, 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 very specific, really small niche, then you're not really going to have much leverage here, because there's going to be a lot of brands that have, all the history and that, backup to prove that their product is great in terms of the features, which could also kind of work against those small brands. Another thing as well too that I think is interesting about this is it's just sort of the way that all of marketing is kind of moving, right? Like, it seems like as we go further and further into this, like, personalized home feed, like we're getting further and further into this specifically tailored for you experience, and not just like a brand general building experience, right? So, like, you think about marketing back then, and it's like, we put our sign up, this is who we are as a brand, and sweet, great. But it's one of those things to where it'll probably get to the point where you have features and you have like a list of, like, 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, whatever features, and based on the individual, it will show them the features that will fit their preference more, that might be totally different from your branding inside of your client avatar, right? And so I think that that'll be super interesting to see how that kind of plays out in the future. Just because there's a lot more people that are going based off of just conversion-based bidding, not as much building the brand as heavily as they should be. And this is kind of leaning more into that conversion-based bidding. So this is working more in Google's favor, but it's obviously, based around how people, you know, experience the platform in itself. So I think this will be super interesting to kind of give people more of that personalized sort of I'm buying the product in a store experience without talking to someone, which is kind of scary. So anyways, let me know what you guys think about this. See maybe how other strategies might come into the mix. We might just say, hey, let's just farm clicks in the future and not necessarily be about conversion-based bidding, or it might go heavily into conversion-based bidding and it just enhances that. You guys know how I feel about the CPCs and conversion-based bidding and how it kind of plays into, you know, Google's hands with everything. But I think this is super interesting. Let me know what you guys think, and yeah, see you guys in the next video. Thanks.